Now, there have been several videos that have captured the Diwali celebration in Brampton in Canada. They are gaining widespread attention. There are groups displaying Khalistani flags that have reportedly disrupted this Diwali function, which has led to chaos on the streets. Allegedly gate crashing the celebrations, these groups threw stones, prompting the police intervention in Brampton. The situation escalated into what authorities have described as an internal community fight, with concerns that continue to arise. Joining on the telecast with me is Sukhi Chahal. He is the founder and CEO and the editor-in-chief of the Khalsa today. Sukhi Chahal, if you could shed more light into this concerning development that has taken place on Diwali. There were Sikhs and Hindus who were gathering together to celebrate Diwali in Brampton, and there has been obstruction by way of the Khalistani protesters. I don't know if I should call them protesters, or these miscreants who have come, who've stopped people from celebrating Diwali and targeted them.
Yes, madam. Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Sabhi ko. This is very, very unfortunate. The kind of incident we see lately in the diaspora by some of the element, actually. So I would call them the Gunda element. I even don't call them the Sikhs anymore, actually, because these are the blot on the Sikhism, actually. These people, they come over here because the Sikh community, the Punjabi community, they worked for more than 100 years. Our ancestors, they came over here, worked very hard actually to have build the credibility in the diaspora. Now, these people are here, and so they are, whatever the nonsense they are doing, especially whenever there is any get together, any community get together in any Gurdwara, and they go there and they take their Khalistani flags and they try to disrespect the Indian flag, which is unacceptable actually, because the 99% the diaspora, the mainstream Sikh community and the Punjabi community, actually, they're the majority of the silent community actually. So we don't like their activity, and their activity is very, very violent, and we all have to condemn it, like I'm doing for almost 15 years.
Right. Sukhi ji, also, what is also unfortunate is that the Canadian police has, sidelined this entire matter, dismissed it, saying that this was an internal matter between the community, when the fact is that there were these Khalistani flags that were being hoisted, that were being waved when this desecration activity was going on during the Diwali celebration.
Now, looks like even the Canadian government is learning the lessons from the Khalistani propaganda, actually, so how they build the narrative. And so they tell the lies all the time, actually. So even unfortunately, whatever that looks like, even that they have a hand in glove, both of them. And whatever they do, actually, so I'll give you not only the Brampton lesson, actually, so that what happened on the Diwali day in Abbotsford, near Vancouver. And one of the Sikh families, Sikh gentleman, and he took his father, his old father, and to get one of the paper attested in the Gurdwara, where there was a program hosted by the Vancouver the Consul General. And these people not only disrespected that gentleman, the Sikh gentleman, the good Sikh gentleman, they also abused his old father, including his wife, inside the Gurdwara. That's what activity going on. That is unacceptable, actually, because this is the kind of the lesson which we were talking about for so long, and they are the blot on the Sikh community, and so we all has to wake up. And this is what their narrative is very, the way they are building the narrative is very bad for the community, and unfortunately they are very well funded, they are very committed, and they are very violent, and they use all the tools, whatever they have on their disposal to suppress anybody who tried to raise the democratic force.
Yeah, Sukhi Chahal ji, at the UNHRC day before yesterday, the country of India has come out and raised concerns over why the Canadian government is misusing the freedom of expression right to give space to these anti-national, anti-social elements, the likes of Khalistanis. This is one such act that has been witnessed on Diwali, where under the garb of freedom of expression, these individuals belonging to Khalistani groups have entered and caused chaos at this Diwali function. Now, why do you think the government refuses to act?
uh, as I said, is they have a hand in glove. And so they have a hand in glove, and so they are pretty much promoting their ideology. And so you can see actually, so on the Canadian side, their activity is this very harmful to even the local Canadian the citizen too. And unfortunately, they are not taking any action. And I don't know what else the evidence do they need, actually, what else proof they need. And they can see in their eyes, actually, so they can see with their own eyes what is happening on ground, actually, within Canada. At least they can take action, but they won't. They won't actually. So whatever we have seen happening in past, and so their activity is very violent, and so they give them the space, especially to the Gurpratwan Singh Pannu and Sikhs for Justice and all these gundancer. I call them the gundancer, and they are the criminal element, and they have nothing to do with the Sikh community, and they have nothing to do with the Sikhi. And what they are trying to do, actually, they're trying to create a fear factor within the Sikh community so they can capture more and more Gurdwara. Because the Gurdwara is a source of very good income for these people. And they use the Gurdwara as a platform because they don't have to do anything actually. So when the community comes over here, and so they pretty much try to spread their fake narrative.
Okay.
And also one of the like the worst thing actually, one of the biggest concern I have, they are very successful radicalizing the new youth actually, though coming over here in Canada.
Yeah.
Especially the youth who was not even born during the 1980 when there was a black days, like a black days or the terrorism in Punjab.
Sukhichal, there was also one incident that has taken place in the last 24 hours. There was a Sikh who was in a Gurdwara in Brampton, and he was there to pray, and he saw there were certain of these miscreants with Khalistani flags who were destroying and desecrating the Indian flag. When he questioned them and asked them to stop, he was attacked in turn. Are these instances that are taking place, the ones like these, becoming more rampant and increased in number?
Madam, unfortunately, these incidents are becoming very common. You can see they are not only happening in Brampton, but the reality is the incident which you are talking about that happened yesterday or on the Diwali day at the Gurdwara Khalsa Diwan Society in Abbotsford near Vancouver. And so in that, like why it happened, the reality is the local committee, the Gurdwara Management Committee, they invited the Indian consulate officials so that the people, especially the retired people from Punjabi community and the Sikh community, actually, so they can come over there to their local Gurdwara, and so they can get any of the paper attested. Especially most of these people, they need to get their life certificate attested by the government of India, because many of these Bujurg people, the old people, and so they are the retired Indian official actually. So some of them are retired from the Indian Army or the teacher or various departments. So they are doing the huge favor. The Consul General, the official, they are doing the huge favor. So they don't have to go to the Vancouver downtown. They don't have to pay the parking fee. So, but these people actually, so whenever even they are not even leaving the Sikh community, and so you can see, they are disrespecting and they are very violent.
Absolutely. Ambassador KP Fabian, amongst the key issues that had been raised by India at the UNHRC against Canada was, number one, stop misusing of freedom of expression, stop attacks on religious places, address hate crimes, all three of which have been, the Canadian government has turned a blind eye to.
Well, unfortunately, what you said is correct, and describing it as an internal matter in a community is obviously wrong. It is, to put it in plain English, it is a law and order matter. That is, there was a gathering to celebrate Diwali, and then some people came and disturbed it. They had no business to be there. So the Canadian police should have taken action. But I am not clear about one or two things, whether those who gathered for Diwali celebration had informed the Canadian police in advance, or whether they had themselves taken any security precautions by posting people, at a perimeter and all that. All this has to be inquired into, but nevertheless, it is clear that the Canadian system has failed to deliver security to, a group of people assembled peacefully to celebrate. And Canada has failed.
Yeah. Ambassador Fabian, at the UNHRC, it was heartening to know that Bangladesh and Sri Lanka have also joined hands with India in raising concerns with Canada with regards to this misuse of freedom of expression, attack on religious places, the hate crimes increasing in Canada. Why don't we see other allies of India from the West, whether it is France or US or UK, speaking in the same lines?
Well, I do not expect them to speak in the same language. And as regards Sri Lanka, I want to make the point that, there are a number of Tamils, Sri Lankan Tamils, settled in Canada who have been campaigning against the Sri Lankan government's failure to take action about, the Tamils. The Human Rights Council had passed a resolution some time back, and Colombo had failed to take action. So that angle also is there. And as regards Bangladeshis, I do not know, but there could be also a similar reason. Now, I do not expect France or anyone else to take such an action. As you know, Quebec, long time ago, there was a referendum whether Quebecois, that is Quebec citizens, wanted separation from Canada or not, and the referendum failed. And long time ago, Charles de Gaulle had come and addressed and all that. But all that is past history, and I don't expect that any of the Western countries will take much interest in this.
Okay, but Ambassador Fabian, when we see America pulling up India, talking about human rights concerns, whether it is about Kashmir or the quote-unquote Christian persecution, and for any of the wildest of the things that they think there are human rights violations being purported in terms of the information warfare by Pakistan or other parts of the world, and India becoming a stronger ally to America than any other, could pressure be mounted in terms of America to then do the right thing? We're not even saying that, just ally with India simply because we give you enough business, or there are trade ties, or there are diplomatic ties with us. But the fact that there is Khalistani extremism and terrorism and radicalism that is emanating out of Canada, there are safe havens that are being given to the Khalistanis. So do the right thing.
Well, let me put it this way. What we should object to is not any separatist cause. As I said, Quebec itself, there was a referendum. What we should object to is preaching violence and threatening violence against Indian diplomats and other Indian entities, and this sort of disturbance of citizens peacefully celebrating Diwali or other functions. That is what we should object to. I do not know whether this was taken up at the 2 and 2, just concluded in Delhi, but I personally do not expect Washington to take much action.
Okay. I also have with me Harinder Sikka, and Harinder, you've heard it from Ambassador Fabian. Suki Chal was also on the show with us talking about this unsupervised, uncurtailed violence and chaos that is being witnessed, particularly on Diwali. So the question being asked, it is increased Hindu phobia that is being witnessed now in the West as well, particularly this incident that has taken place in Canada. But the world continues to tarnish India's image, saying that there is human rights violations and attacks on Muslims and the Muslim community here.
First of all, the problem doesn't lie with the Khalistanis. We are the ones to be blamed. I've repeatedly said this. So much of drugs flowing around in Punjab, drones being flying down here, one in a blue moon, if we catch one, that means 50, 70, 100 are getting away. That money is sent through Hawala to Gurdwaras in Canada. And that is that money power which is playing against us, caused by us, and we are at fault. Now comes to the Diwali. First of all, Khalistani word is a very objectionable word. Khalis means pure, and they are far from being pure, and they are not Sikhs. They are traitors, they are goons, they are whatever you call them, but they are not Sikhs. This Diwali, some good senses prevailed, and in Harimandir Sahib, on the main sanctum, where the canopy is put on the Beed Sahib, Guru Granth Sahib, it was written in Punjabi, which I sent to you. If you can put it up, please. It says Diwali di raat dive baliyan, which means that it's from the Granth Sahib. It says that Diwali means Diwali has a reference in Granth Sahib, in Guru Granth Sahib, the holiest of the Khalistanis don't know about it. Poor fellows, they are traitors, they are terrorists. They are not Sikhs. Any Sikh worth his salt will know that this is not to be spoken. Diwali is part and parcel of a Sikh culture. The Nihangs, for example, went to Ayodhya during the rule when it was to be taken over from Muslims or Mughals or whatever it was, and they chucked those people out and wrote on the walls inside the Ayodhya, Ram Ram. It's part of the Supreme Court order, whereby when Supreme Court said that Ayodhya belongs to Hindus, this was very much the essence of the whole, one of the theories or one of the reasons why what Supreme Court wrote about it. You mean to say these people who are some fifth standard fail, I'm not sure they passed that, okay, or on drugs all the time. They will not know what Sikhism is all about. Sikhs are a different entity. How? The entire world is on three major issues. Zar, Zoru, Jaidad. We fight for. The entire world fights for. Zar means dollar, dhan dollar. Zoru, the women. And Jaidad, the land. This is the three parts in which the entire world is fighting day in, day out, everywhere, wherever you see. Guru Gobind Singh Ji took Panch Pyaras from 5 different states, all Hindus, made them Sikhs, and said, here is an opportunity to free from the Mughals and fight Mughals and free our women and start sacrificing. So that fourth angle was started by Guru Gobind Singh Ji, who himself became a Sikh at the hands of those Panch Pyaras, erstwhile Hindus. And Mokham Ram became Mokham Singh, and so on and so forth. These people sacrificed themselves, and till date, Sikhs are sacrificing. And they are Sikhs because it is not a religion, it's a way of life. There was a gentleman by the name Todar Malji. Are you aware that to date, world's most expensive land ever purchased was by Todar Malji, who bought that 6 feet by 4 feet piece of small little land to cremate the 2 Sahibzadas of Guru Gobind Singh Ji who were buried alive by Aurangzeb's tyrant Wazir. And that Wazir wanted the gold coins in the entire land to be measured in gold coins, and gold coins, only standing gold coins. So that amount of money Todar Malji was paid to the Wazir to take that land for cremation for the Sahibzadas. Are we thankful to Todar Malji? No. Is any Khalistani worth his salt aware who was Todar Malji?
Yeah.
Forget Todar Malji.
You're absolutely.
Are my people who are ruling the Gurdwaras and controlling this sect or that sect, are they aware of what Todar Malji did?
Yeah.
So our problem is our education system.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Sumit, quickly getting you into the conversation as well. This is not the first time Diwali celebrations have been interrupted by this violence. I hope it is going to be the last time, but what do we do to ensure this does not happen again?
Meghaji, because we are talking of Hindu-Sikh unity, and I will start with Sat Sri Akal. So the first and important thing is there is no difference between a Hindu and Sikh. And I agree with Chahal Saab and Sikha Ji, which have been making one very pertinent point. These are 5th grade failed terrorists. They are illiterates. उन्हें सिख तो हमें कहना ही नहीं चाहिए. And when this word Khalistan should never be used for such lumpens and such hoots. जो खालसा है, they can never become Khalsa, they can never become pure. I mean, खालसा कभी खालिस्तानी बन नहीं सकता और खालिस्तानी 1000 बार जन्म दे तो वो खालसा बन नहीं सकता. That is the reality of Sikhism. Why did Guru Gobind Singh Ji sacrifice his life from? Who was he fighting for? वो कहाँ के बादशाह थे? कौन सी सल्तनत चाहिए थी उनको? What was Zafarnama? What do they know about it? Why is Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji called Chadre Hind? What did he do? What did he do to save Hinduism? And what is the relation between Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji and Guru Gobind Singh Ji? Do these illiterates know that? Do you know why do you know about a Gurudwara Shishganj in Chandni Chowk? Why is it called Shishganj? But like Sikha Ji told us about Todermal, so I know about them, but do these illiterates know about that? So these illiterates know nothing. They are these lumpen terrorists who are possibly druggies, who are always high, and anybody, just incites them there and gets through the stone pelting. I want to ask you one thing. I want to highlight one thing, Meghaji, the dangerous game Canadian government is playing here. Look, we have Act Canada right, left and center. What are they trying to tell you? They're trying to tell you it's a clash between the communities. Hey, Canada, hold. Justin Trudeau, you know what are you doing? It is the clash wherein Khalistani elements or terrorists try to attack a religious ceremony which was going for Diwali. It is not between Hindus and Sikhs. No. It is those Khalistani lumpens and terrorists and yammers who came there and disrupted it. It has nothing to do with the patriotic Sikhs of India and the patriotic Sikhs who are living across the world. How dare you are saying Khalistani is equal to a Sikh? That is the game Justin Trudeau is now trying to place. His police is now trying to play. How did these people reach the venue? What was police doing? Police protection was not good. What did police do to stop them? Nothing. In fact, they use this opportunity to send out a press release. It is between two communities. Are you saying that all the Sikhs of India are Khalistanis, that terrorists? You are wrong, Justin Trudeau. You are again trying to divide. You are again using your divisive politics. Because when it comes to protection, you don't have any answer for Ripudaman Singh Ji, Ripudaman Malik Ji. But you have all the answers for Hardeep Singh Nijjar. That is again the game he is trying to play. They have failed. They are now trying to divide us. They are trying to divide Hindu-Sikh unity. This is an attempt to paint all the patriotic Sikh community at a global level in a very negative stage. Yeah. Because, we know what it is, but imagine how will a person in England know? How will a person in Africa know? How will a person in Middle East know? How will a person in South America know? Why Sikh is equal to Khalistani? It's like Hamas is equal to Muslim is equal to Palestine. Here, Sikh is equal to Khalistani. That is the dangerous game he is playing. Ma'am, he's playing a game. He's right. वो कहते हैं ना हिंदी में एक साजिश कर रहा है. He's writing an orchestrated plan to paint whole community black, and that is what we should condemn. That is what I am condemning from the national media.
Absolutely, and the fact that there has to be a clarion call that needs to be registered with the world. Why is it the West that continues to sleep on this matter? A selective condemnation of what happens against Israel and the terrorism that emanates out of Gaza Strip. But when it comes to the Khalistani terrorism and secessionism activities that take place in Canada, why is there a pin drop silence?
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.